off a daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit up by, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Bit a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the page. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over the 4-game NBA slate on Fanduel and Draftkings for Tuesday, February 4th. A couple back-to-back, San Antonio and Charlotte on a back-to-back as well, so kind of a limited slate, so we're just going to kind of go over everything, top 3 or 4 at each position. First things first, thank you for all your support. I truly do appreciate it. Thanks for letting me have the day off yesterday, man. A little bummed after the 49ers loss. It was just a tough sports week. I needed a day away from sports yesterday. Just had to happen. Hard week of NBA with Kobe, and then the Niners losing in the fourth quarter, the Super Bowl. Rough day. So that's that. So thank you. I appreciate that. Cheers to you all. Grab a coffee and Bailey's. I hope you enjoy the show. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit subscribe down below. Get access to all of our content. Our fantasy draft NBA video is out. Be sure to check that out. Rake Free DFS, that's out. I will be having XFL videos out for the slates this weekend for XFL as well. Also, by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment in the comment section, you qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. That is sponsored by Draft Dashboard. Draft Dashboard is where we're going over all the stats, usage, minutes, history versus team, hit percentage, points per minute, points per dollar. You can set your exposures here in the mass exposure tab for the lineup for the mass lineup generator, using the lineup optimizer, etc. Also, you can get access to my player pool by trying Draft Dashboard by clicking that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard 30 days for $1, and you get my player pool for the slate, etc. So let's announce our winner. Normally we announce the winner every Monday, but I took yesterday off. So our winner this week of the $25 PayPal giveaway is George Hadaway, my favorite Washington fan. Congratulations to you, man. Hit me up in the comment section on the Twitter sphere. Let me know how to get that to you. Congratulations. We do that every single week. Just like, comment, and subscribe. Just like that. So 4 games. Let's jump right into it. At point guard, we got Dame is very expensive. 10-9 on FanDuel, 10-3 on DraftKings. Denver, 12th against opposing point guards. This game is in Denver. Here's the thing. He doesn't have a great history against Denver. 4 straight in the 40s, 1 in the 30s. But he has been absolutely on fire. His last 5 games overall, only 2 games under 70. He's got a 64, a 79, a 79, a 73, and a 60 in his last 5. No one has been hotter than Damian Lillard. No Jamal Murray. You probably see a lot of Gary Harris defense, who is a terrific defender on the road. For me, I'm going to have exposure to Damian Lillard, but it's not my favorite play, and I don't think you're crazy to fade him. It's an awful lot to pay for Dame. I know he's red hot, but it just feels like one of those 33-point games is coming, and it's coming soon. Title of the sex tape. There you go. But I will have some exposure, but again, not my favorite play. You can see he's got a 27% chance at hitting value on FanDuel and a 46% chance at hitting value at that price on DraftKings. Lonzo Ball against Milwaukee. I like Lonzo. I think he's a bit expensive too. 6'9 on FanDuel, 6'7 on DraftKings. Milwaukee is 11th against opposing point guards. Put up a 48 in his last game. His last 2 games against Milwaukee, he has a 29 and a 70. Take that 70. I'll have, of course, in a 4-game slate. There's just not there's a ton of options. No Russell Westbrook, it looks like, for Houston. Tonight, he's doubtful, so it's limited options, but I will have exposure to Lonzo Ball. Probably my favorite point guard tonight is Eric Bledsoe. 6'3 on FanDuel, 6'6 on DraftKings. New Orleans is 28th against opposing point guards. Fast-paced game, highest total on the slate, 245.5. Just went up by half a point here in the last 20 minutes. It was just at 245 earlier this morning. High total, fast-paced game, bad defense. Sign me up for Eric Bledsoe. Put up a 45 his last time out against New Orleans. I don't mind Terry Rozier. I'm not in love with the back-to-back situation, and he's very, very up and down. You can see an 8 and a 9 his last 2 games against Houston. He's also got a 30 against him. Houston 16th against point guards. Also keep in mind, no Russell Westbrook. Possibly no Austin Rivers as well. He missed yesterday's practice with an illness. So he's going to see, that James Harden, Eric Gordon defense. Nothing that scares you. So there is some tournament interest in Terry Rozier in a 4-game slate. Monty Morris is at 5K on FanDuel. I could take a shot there. Portland's 22nd against opposing point guards. He's 5'9" on DraftKings. I can't pay 6K for Monty Morris. I just can't do it. I'll pass there. I will have some exposure to Derek White. The Spurs are on a back-to-back. He's 4-3 on both sites. Lakers 18th against point guards, a 24 and a 17 in his last 2 against them. Let's keep an eye on Austin Rivers. With no Russell Westbrook, he would play more minutes, and Houston has been playing really, really small. Real small. They've been starting PJ Tucker at center. I think they were like the first team in the last 50 years or some crazy shit to not play anyone over 6'6" for an entire game, which is just crazy. PJ Tucker playing a ton of minutes at center. They're playing small ball, so there could be some value there for Austin Rivers. Let's go to shooting guards. A shooting guard with no Russell Westbrook, no Clint Capella, James Harden, absolutely. 11-6 on FanDuel, 12K on DraftKings. He's got massive upside. Now, Charlotte plays at a slow pace, so it's a pace-down game for Houston. So I think going to Giannis or LeBron or AD is fine. He's going to be very popular. He's going to be very highly owned in a 4-game slate, but I do like James Harden. He's got the big upside. Charlotte is 8th against point guards, 16th against shooting guards, but of course I'm going to have a ton of James Harden and that upside, a 55 and a 52 in his last 2 games against Charlotte. DeMar DeRozan against the Lakers in LA. Not terrible against the Lakers. He's an LA guy, DeMar DeRozan is. 7-6 on FanDuel, 7-7 on DraftKings. His last 3 against the Lakers, 64, a 39, a 30, had a 49 and a 61 before that. I'll definitely have exposure to DeMar DeRozan tonight. Another one of these games, pretty evenly paced down slightly for the Spurs, but not much. Jrue Holiday against Milwaukee. Burn job the other day from Jrue Holiday, only getting a 23. Milwaukee, 11th against shooting guards. Again, high total in this game, paced up game, extra possessions. I do like Jrue Holiday a lot today. In 2 of his last 4 against Milwaukee, he has a 60 and a 58. The other 2 a 36 and a 35. Devontae Graham, 6'7 on FanDuel, 6'8 on DraftKings. We talked about Houston's defense, Houston's backcourt. Now it is a back-to-back for Charlotte. He only had a 10 his last time out against Houston, but that was a much different scenario. Now playing a ton of minutes, has some legit upside there. His last 5 games have been certainly underwhelming. 33, 35, 24, 24, and a 17. I don't think he's highly owned. There's some upside there. I like his price. And again, it's a limited 4-game slate. Obviously on DraftKings, I'll take McCollum at 6'3 on DraftKings. Just cheaper. Struggled his last 2 games against Denver, an 18 and a 17. But 6'3 for McCollum seems a little bit more reasonable than 6'8 for Devontae Graham. On FanDuel, he's a little bit cheaper, so you can see the difference of the 2 sites there. Josh Hart has been a nice value play. Now, I'm a little worried about it because he's had a couple of nice games in a row, so you always worry that the fall off is coming. But even in his last 5 games, only 1 game less than 25. He's got a 28, a 32, and a 42 in that time frame. I think Josh Hart for some value is a solid play. One thing I should talk about, I can't believe I haven't brought it up, is keep an eye on the news wire today. The trade deadline is Thursday. So there's going to be players on the move. I know a lot of teams have been calling about JJ Redick. They've supposedly been saying no. But you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor. Any trades, players being rested, maybe players being showcased a little bit. It is something to keep an eye on. I know a lot of teams are looking at Jrue Holiday as well. So there could be a chance where he just ends up resting if there's a deal in place. These next couple of days, it's very important to keep an eye on the news, the trades, the transaction wire, however you do it. Very important to do so. JJ Redick for some value. Gary Harris sucks so bad. He just got a 6 in 31 minutes. But I will say 3 of his last 5 against Portland, he had at least 26. He's going to play 30-plus minutes. There's no Jamal Murray. Portland's 21st against shooting guards. There's some value there in a 4-game slate. You have to consider him at 4K and 3.8. You just have to, just because of the minutes. JJ Redick, his last 4 against Milwaukee, a 27, 24, 42, and a 35. Some shooting for them. Now, he's playing less minutes as Josh Hart and etc. play more minutes, but I do think you start, especially if a trade happens with Jrue Holiday, etc., especially if you're playing season long, keep a hold of JJ Redick. He does have some nice history against Milwaukee in a paced-up game where they may need some shooting and go a little bit smaller. I think JJ Redick's a decent value play tonight. And keep an eye on Ben McLemore. He should see extra minutes tonight with no Westbrook. If Austin Rivers isn't feeling well enough in time, he'll see even more minutes. He's at 3.8 and 3.4 If Austin Rivers is out, that's a nice super value at 3-4. He and Torrey Craig at 3-3. There's some value here at shooting guard today. There's a lot of cheap options down there at shooting guard. Let's go to small forward. Of course, Giannis at the top. Might go a little bit overlooked. New Orleans, 25th against opposing small forwards. Super fast-paced game. I like Giannis a lot tonight. 4 straight games of 58 or more. I think he goes off 11-5 and 11-4. I like Giannis a lot. I like LeBron a lot against the Spurs. Anytime LeBron plays against Popovich, he likes to show off and play well. You can see his last 5 against the Spurs, nothing lower than a 56. 61, a 66, a 58, and a 58. He's 10-4 on Fanduel, 10-1 on Draftkings. The Spurs are 26th against opposing small forwards. I do like LeBron as well. Will Barton maybe a little bit against Portland. He's been on a nice little run. Back-to-back good outings, so it's kind of tough. You worry that he's going to regress down to that 20, but they are 21st against small forwards, and he's at 6'2 on Fanduel, 6'5 on Draftkings. Miles Bridges, 3 straight monster games, 41, 39, and a 35 last night. Houston allowing the second most fantasy points in the league to opposing small forwards. On a back-to-back, some 40-point upside in the 5K range. I'll certainly have exposure there. Daniel House, the same scenario at 5'1". So there's a lot of these guys in the mid to lower tier, so you can pick the studs that you want when you want to go, look, you want to get crazy and go LeBron and Harden if you can get the salary there, or a Giannis and there is some options here in the value area. I'm going to have a lot of exposure to these value players, try to catch the right combo. Hopefully it takes it to the top. Daniel House, Eric Gordon, going to play a bunch of extra minutes without Westbrook, and their upside goes way up. We saw Eric Gordon go off for 69 last week. Now that was without both Harden and Westbrook, if I remember correctly, or maybe Harden was back. I think Harden was back. One of those two was in. I can't remember. Last week was a tough week, man. 4-9 on Fanduel, 5-3 on DraftKings. Charlotte 16th against opposing shooting guards, 18th against opposing small forwards, both House and Gordon there. Another value guy who I just think is definitely too cheap on Fanduel. He's about properly priced on DraftKings at 4-8 is Trevor Ariza. Denver is 3rd against small forwards, but Trevor Ariza is playing a ton of minutes. So if you're going to get a guy playing 32 to 38 minutes, 39 minutes, you got to have exposure to him, especially at 4-5 in a 4-game slate. That's it at small forward. Let's go to power forwards. AD at the top. I love the price for Anthony Davis, especially on DraftKings. He's 9-3 on DraftKings. It's too cheap. He's 10-2 on FanDuel. Spurs coming off a back-to-back. The Spurs are 19th against opposing power forwards. LaMarcus Aldridge has no shot against him. I love the price for Anthony Davis, one of my favorite players on the slate. Put up a 54 his last time out against the Spurs. Really like Anthony Davis. I like Zion as well at 7-1 on both sides. Milwaukee 21st against opposing power forward. It's going to be fun to watch him and Giannis go at it. The upsides there, of course, I can go to Zion Williamson. Then LaMarcus Aldridge on a back-to-back against that tough Lakers front court. I will probably pass. I love his price, 6'9 on FanDuel, 6'2 on DraftKings. They're really trying to bait you in to play Aldridge on a back-to-back against that Lakers front court. I can tell you this, he will be low owned. So if you're playing 100, 150 lineups, 50 lineups, sprinkle him in. Of course, have some exposure just in case in that low ownership. But it's not going to shock me if LaMarcus Aldridge doesn't have a crazy outstanding performance tonight. And it wouldn't shock me if Popovich rests him, honestly. So something to keep an eye on. Jeremy Grant, been red hot. Since Paul Millsap's been hurt and he's been playing all these minutes, and Mason Plumlee playing all these minutes for Denver, he's just been playing red hot. He's 6'1 on FanDuel, 5'7 on DraftKings. DraftKings a little bit softer with their pricing today than they have been recently, so I do like that, except for Harden up at 12K. 32 his last time out against Portland. In fact, 3 of his last 4, he has a 30 or more. In his last 5 games, he's had a couple of games in the 40s, 6'1", 5'7". Portland 14th against power forwards. I like some Jeremy Grant. Derek Favors' minutes have really been affected by Zion. Really been affected. Now he's 4'9 on DK. I could take a shot there. He did put up a 55 his last time out against Milwaukee, but again, with Zion and Ingram, etc., Derek Favors is now playing in those high teens to low 20s in minutes, so it really does cap his upside. PJ Tucker and Kuzma for some value. That's pretty much it for me. I guess if you want to play Trey Lyles, doesn't do much to excite me there. Not a lot at power forward. Power forward's probably the worst position today. Maybe center. At center, Jokic against Portland. Now it's Whiteside against Jokic. He's 10-4 on Fanduel, 10K on DraftKings. I think of all the guys, 10K or more, he will probably be the lowest owned. So I'll have exposure to him just for that reason alone. Now, it's not like he sets the world on fire. His last couple against Portland, a 35 and a 41. The 3 before that were in the 50s. Portland is 14th against opposing centers. Should be a good matchup. I will have some exposure to Jokic, like I said, just because of the low ownership. Hassan Whiteside, 9-1 on FanDuel, 8-5 on DraftKings. His last time out against Jokic and the Nuggets, he put up a 61. I love that price on DK at 8-5. Love the minutes. He's been playing really, really well. 3 of his last 4, at least 52. His last 4 games overall, a 55, a 41, a 68, a 52. I mean, he's just been red hot. The thing you worry about with Whiteside, especially in a matchup like this, is he has a tendency to commit stupid fouls. So there's the upside in tournaments because you're going to get more opportunities for blocks because Jokic is going to, have a higher usage than most centers, and up in the 30s is going to take more shots. So chances for blocks and steals, but there's also that risk for foul trouble, so it could go both ways. Brook Lopez. Love Lopez tonight. 5-3 on DraftKings, 5-8 on FanDuel New Orleans, 24th against opposing centers. Just put up a 50 the other day. He's got some good upside, low price against a bad New Orleans defense in a paced-up game. I do like some Brook Lopez. Cody Zeller is retaking the starting job for Charlotte. Now, it's a back-to-back. You never know. That team is really weird. They could just surprise everyone and start Biombo today. You never know. But I do like Cody Zeller, 4-9 on FanDuel, 5-2 on DraftKings. Houston 16th against opposing centers. But more importantly, no Clint Capella for Houston, so they're playing very, very, very small. Like I said, I think they're the first team, and I can't remember what the year was, in forever. They didn't play a single player over 6'6" the whole game. PJ Tucker is playing a ton of center. Thabo Cephalosha is out there playing the it's just what the hell is going on? Could see a little bit of Hartenstein tonight because Charlotte's a bigger team with Zeller, Biombo, Hernan Gomez, etc. But I do like Cody Zeller. The matchup is there, and Houston is more than willing to give up the rebounds and the points to the big men so they can just run up and down the floor. Paced up game for Charlotte. I will have some exposure to Cody Zeller. And then for value, I guess if you want to take a punt on a Dwight Howard or a JaVale McGee and hope one of them goes off, they both do have some upside. What you're really hoping for is the customary Anthony Davis headed to the locker room type deal. So I guess I could have some exposure there as well. So that's my look at each position. Again, you can get access to this tool, all the research, the stats, optimizer, mass lineup generator, cash game optimizer, etc., and access to my player pool simply by clicking that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. When you do, how you find my player pool is you click the Watch Players tab over here. You'll see a blue box at the top that says Watch DFS Bachelor's Picks. That will highlight my player pool if you wish to use that or check out my watched players. And it also has a timestamp when I last updated it so we can make a couple sample lineups. Again, it's just a sample lineup, super early in the morning. I don't know why I did that. So let's start here on FanDuel Lock and Change. Keep an eye on the news, the trades, etc. So this is definitely a tournament lineup. Bledsoe, Derek White, Macklemore, James Harden, LeBron James, Will Barton, Jeremy Grant, Derek Favors, and Brook Lopez. Like I said, I'm kind of worried. I don't mind the price for Favors, but it's just damn, man, his upside's really capped. There's not a whole lot of great options today. Maybe go PJ Tucker right there. And then from Ben McLemore, we can get up to a Gary Harris or a Josh Hart. I think something like that is solid if you're trying to play both Harden and LeBron. Again, that's a tournament kind of scrubs and duds type deal, playing 2 high-priced guys there. But I think there is enough value in tonight's slate where you can do something like that. Certainly viable. DraftKings, White, Holiday, DeRozan, Davis, Zeller, Lonzo, Will Barton, Ben McLemore. That's interesting too. If I'm not going to have Harden in, I'll have Eric Gordon in. There's just no doubt about that. Then we can upgrade here from Ben McLemore. We can get to an Ariza. Almost get to Daniel House. Malik Monk on a back-to-back could be an interesting value upside shooting guard type play today. Then you can upgrade Derek White, etc. Lots of ways you can go. Click the link. Try it yourself. 30 days for $1. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be part of our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. Congratulations again to George Hadaway winning our $25 PayPal giveaway this week. Hit me up. Let me know how to get that to you. Cheers to you all. May the fantasy gods be with you. Good luck tonight. We'll see you tomorrow with our NBA videos for tomorrow. And this week, we will have XFL, of course, covering both slates, the little 2-game slates, Saturday and Sunday for the XFL. Thank you all again. Goodbye, folks.